All right, we're going to be talking about transformations, not transformers as we see Bumblebee down there, but a transformation is an operation that maps an original figure, the pre-image, onto a new figure called the image. So basically, the transformation, we're going to be drawing a shape on a graph, and then we're going to be changing that shape on the graph. And the first one we're going to do is a reflection. So it's just like looking in a mirror. We're going to be doing a reflection or a mirror image of an object. Okay? And what we'll find here is that B and G are the same distance away from that line. A and F are the same distance away from that line. C and H are the same distance away from that line. Okay? And so that's how we can draw a reflection. So I'm just going to do one example. I'm not going to do all the examples. So G, and there, I'm going to zoom in even more so it's easier for me to write. We're going to call this my G, we're going to call this my G prime. Then I have F. We'll say it's about there. That's my F prime. And then we're going to do H is like that. H prime. And then E will be about there. E prime. So I'll use a different color here. If I draw my new shape, I'll draw it in blue also. It should look no, mine doesn't look similar. Well, it should. It should look similar to mine's a little flattened out. It should look similar to that image. Okay, so that's how you would do it. Okay, now we're actually going to graph it. Okay, so first we're going to graph the trapezoid. Okay, so here are our points up here, and over here, and we're going to graph these points. So -1, 1, that's R. 4, 1 is S. 4, -1 is T. And -1, 1, 2, 3, -3 is V. And then we're going to connect the dots. And we're going to reflect it over the line y equals -3. So y equals -3 is right here, where I'm drawing my dotted red line. And then I'm going to pick another color, and we're going to reflect it. Now, here's what you do. You are going to take your pen or pencil and count. So for T prime, how far away is it from the, we don't need these anymore. How far away is it from the line? It's 2 away, right? It's 1, 2, and 2 away down here. So T prime. S is how many away? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. We're off the graph here. My apologies. S prime. V is right on it, so that's V prime. And then R is going to be here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so then I graph it like that. And so we can see we have a nice mirror image reflected there over y equals -3. All right, now we're going to graph the same shape. Okay, so this time I'll start it in green. R, S, T, I think it's down one more. V, there's our shape. Now we're going to reflect it on the line x equals 2. So x equals 2 is right here. And now we're going to count how many away it is from the origin and graph our new line. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So here's my r prime. S is 1, 2, 3, is 2 away. So now I go on the other side. Oop, that's only 1. So S is actually over here, S prime. T is 2 away also, so that's T prime. And V is 1, 2, 3 away, 1, 2, 3 away. Here's V prime. And if you draw that, it looks kind of weird. It kind of crisscrosses over each other, but they are reflecting over that line. So we're imagining that line is like the mirror. Okay, we're going to make it a little bit easier here. Okay. What we're going to do is if we reflect on the x-axis, here's what happens. We have the same x and y points, except that y becomes negative. If we reflect on the y-axis, we have the same x and y points, except now x is negative. And actually, it's just going to be opposite. Let's put it that way. It's going to be opposite, not necessarily negative. Okay, so we're going to graph the triangle. One, two, three, four, 5. Positive 3 right here. So that's A. B is 2, 0. That's B. And C is 1, 2. So here's my triangle. Try to draw some straight lines there. Okay, now we're going to reflect it on the x-axis, which is, and you don't have to draw this, but the x-axis is right here. That's what I'm going to reflect it with. So instead of counting the points now, what I can do is I can look at A and say -5, 3. If it's over the x-axis, y is opposite. So A prime, what's A prime going to be? It's going to be -5. Now I make the -3 opposite. So now I don't have to count. I just know that it's going to be down there. It's going to be the same place as if I counted. B prime, 2, I can't make a -0. So it's going to be the same point. B prime. We always do prime for our second point. And then my last thing is 1, now I'm going to make the 2 a negative, so it's down here. And that's my new shape. It is reflected over the x-axis. Okay, let's reflect the y on the y-axis now. So -4, 1. Oops. -4, 1 is P. Q is 2, 3. There's Q. R is 2, -1. There's R. And S is -4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. And there's my parallelogram. And now I'm going to reflect it over the y-axis. So when I do it over the y-axis, x coordinate is opposite. So we'll go back to blue here. P prime, I'm going to take, here's P, I'm going to take the opposite of -4, which is 4. 1 stays the same. So P prime will be over here. Q prime, I'm going to take the opposite of 2, which is negative 2. So negative 2, 1, 2, 3 up here. That is Q prime. Then R prime is going to be negative 2, negative 1, because it's opposite of 2. So negative 2, negative 1 is R prime. And then lastly, we're going to take the opposite of negative 4, which is 4, negative 3. It's going to be down here. And when I draw this, you will have a nice pretty picture of how it is reflected on the y-axis. Okay, we are going to do, looking ahead here. Okay, that's how you do x and y-axis. Okay, we're going to skip ahead here and we're going to do the line y equals x. If I reflect over the line y equals x, I flip my coordinates. I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so if I'm reflecting, and we're just going to do, as I'm looking ahead here, we're just going to do one example for the video. You can practice the other ones on your own. Here is my line y equals x. It always goes diagonal like so. Okay, let's graph our first image. So I have J. Zoom in a bit. I have K. I have L. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. There's L. And then I have M. 0, 1, 2, 3, negative 4. So that's M. So here's my quadrilateral. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to reflex it over that blue dotted line. Over y equals x. So what I do for J prime is I'm going to flip-flop my points. Well, guess what? 2, 2 flip-flopped is 2, 2. It's right on the line. So there's J prime. Now I'm going to take 4, 1, and K prime will flip-flop to 1, 4. There's K prime. Then I'm going to take L prime, which is 3, L, which is 3, negative 3, and now that becomes negative 3, 3. So negative 3, 1, 2, 3, 3, 1, 2, 3. Here, that's L prime. And then last but not least, I'm going to flip-flop 0, negative 4 to become negative 4, 0. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And so that's M prime. And if I connect my dots, you will notice that that shape is an image of itself reflected over y equals x. Okay, eventually I'm going to give you guys a chart, but here's kind of an idea